Hello, my name is Kevin. Welcome to this Magoosh GMAT video. In this video, we're going to go through a critical reasoning question, and this question actually came from one of our blog posts. So, before we do anything else, you've got to go to the blog post and read the first argument that's on that post, or else none of this is going to make sense. So, pause the video, go down below me, right now where there's extra text and information, click on the link and read the argument. Very quickly, but not too quickly. Take your time. I'll be here. Did you do it? Are you done? Is that it? Okay. I'm assuming that you have read the argument. So we're working on a specific type of critical reasoning question here that we're calling evaluate the conclusion. You'll have a couple of these on the test for sure, and these types of questions require a specific type of approach. And here is our steps for this approach. So first, we're going to identify the question. We actually already know that, so we'll do that very quickly. Number two, we're going to attack the argument, which you've already done a little bit. Step three is seeking an idea, and we'll talk about what that is. And finally, number four is to eliminate wrong answers. Get rid of the wrong answers. So, number one, we already know to evaluate the conclusion. There's two important phrases that come in the prompt here. One is evaluate the argument. This is telling us that it's this type of question. And any time that you see argument in the prompt, really what they're talking about is the conclusion. So, if you're evaluating the argument or weakening an argument, really what you're doing is weakening the conclusion or evaluating the conclusion. And then finally, we also have most important. So it says something like, what is most important for evaluating the argument? This is an important phrase because it's telling us that there's going to be answer choices that do help evaluate the argument, and then there's going to be one that's the best out of all of them. So it's good to keep this in mind. You're comparing these answer choices and trying to find the one that's most important for evaluating the argument. Okay, step two is attacking the argument. We do not read arguments, we attack them, because reading tends to be a little too passive for people. Attacking, on the other hand, is something that's very active, and you're diving in, trying to get meaning out of the argument. So really what you should try to do, you don't have to take notes like I've done here, but writing down the conclusion can be really helpful to keep that in mind. So the basic outline of this argument is there's this bird, there's a puffer bird, hangs out at the coast. It likes to eat seeds from this tree, and there's lots of these trees at the coast. And then we get this interesting piece of information. 10 years ago, there was a fox that was introduced. And after that, they have seen fewer birds. This is an important word. Seen fewer birds. So we don't know if there's actually fewer birds. We've just seen fewer birds. So that's an important piece of information to hold on to. And then finally, the conclusion is the puffer knows that there's foxes around and it's going elsewhere. Okay, so now we need to seek an idea, and I've already sort of hinted at what that idea is. There's some sort of connection between the fox and the bird. We don't know what it is. And we do know that they've seen fewer birds, but there's no evidence that's been provided to prove that there actually are fewer birds in this coastal area. So that might be something that we want to seek out in the answer choices. But ultimately, what we need to consider is the conclusion and how to evaluate, to figure out, is it true? Should we believe what the conclusion is telling us? And so really, we're asking this question, where are the birds? Where did they go? Are they being eaten by the foxes? Are they going somewhere else because they know the foxes are there? That is the question. And so that's what we're going to be thinking about when we go to eliminate wrong answers. And so, good thing to keep in mind is that we are focusing on the birds and not the fox. The conclusion is all about the birds, and that's going to be a useful piece of information for eliminating wrong answers. So, answer choice A says other birds. Who cares about other birds? We're not worried about other birds. We're worried about the puffer. So, let's get rid of A. B, the gray fox eats the fruit. And so this is one of those that's kind of maybe helpful, but you have to spend a lot of time thinking about it and making a lot of inferences and assumptions to prove that it does help. Ultimately, we're focusing about the fox here, so we can eliminate it because it's not focused on the bird. C, this is a funny one, speed of takeoff. So they're talking about the speed of the bird taking off and the fox like running after the bird, which is kind of funny to think about, but ultimately doesn't help us to know where are the birds, where'd they go. So we're going to eliminate C. D is all about the range of the foxes. So again, this is off topic. It's not about the birds. It's focused on the foxes. So we can eliminate this. And finally, we're left with E, which is about looking at other coastal areas to see if there's been a rise in the pufferbird, which is perfect. If the pufferbirds are not coming to this coastal area, they're probably going somewhere else. And so it's important to go see, are they actually there? So our answer here is E. I hope that this was edifying and useful. If you have any questions about anything that I've said here, or you think I've missed something, feel free to leave some comments. I promise to respond. And that's it. Check out our other videos. Come to magoosh.com/GMAT if you have any other curiosities about the GMAT. Be excellent.